Honorable members of the committee, I see that we have a quorum, so I must inform the members that the clerk of the committee can only receive motions for the election of the chair. The clerk cannot receive other types of motions, cannot entertain points of order, nor participate in debate. We can now proceed to the election of the chair. So pursuant to Standing Order 1062, the chair must be a member of the government party. I'm ready to receive motions for the nomination of chair. Mr. Ananda-Sangri. Okay, it has been moved by Mr. Ananda-Sangri that Mr. Oliphant be elected as chair of the committee. Are there any further motions? Is it the pleasure of the committee to adopt the motion? Okay. I declare the motion carried and Mr. Oliphant duly elected chair of the committee. I would invite Mr. Oliphant to take the chair. If you want to say something, or if you want to proceed to vice chair.
Good. Just, we only really have one more item of business today, but I do want to say thank you to the committee. It has been a number of years since I've been on this committee. I served on this committee in 2 parliaments ago, and I found the work to be both challenging as well as satisfying, and so I'm really very pleased to be back. I am sure that the agenda is a little different, but probably not as different as it should be in terms of the number of things that we need to address as a parliament on the important issues of both citizenship and immigration. I'm looking forward to a really constructive session this fall. I've been through some of the work that you were working on in the spring. I'm very impressed with it and hope that we can draw some of it to completion and report back to Parliament with several successful studies that we can find a way to move Parliament along and prod the government on these issues. So thank you. Now I move. If the committee is in agreement, I invite the clerk to proceed with the election of vice chairs.
Pursuant to Standing Order 1062, the first vice chair must be a member of the official opposition. I'm now prepared to receive motions for the first vice chair, Mr. Maguire.
I'd like to nominate Michelle Rempel.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Maguire that Michelle Rempel be nominated as first vice chair of the committee. Are there any further motions? Is it the pleasure of the committee to adopt the motion? Yes. Okay, I declare the motion carried and that Michelle Rempel is duly elected first vice chair of the committee.
We'll extend congratulations to her. And the other vice chair position is currently in place and so does not need to be changed. So we'll welcome Jenny as the second vice chair when she returns. We have no other business to do, and I will just explain to the committee that I felt that it's important for us to reform as a committee to look at our agenda, and I didn't feel it was in the best interest of the work of the committee to do that without the 2 vice chairs present at a meeting, that I thought we would do much better if we were able to continue that with the vice chairs present so they could be fully engaged in the work. What I'd ask the committee to do is to, before our next meeting, just in your own time, review the outstanding work that we have, the motions that are on the way and the work that is underway, so that we can get at it as quickly as possible and get on to the important work that's been given to us. So seeing no other business, I would declare the meeting adjourned.